What's good, YouTube? How we doing today? It's your boy, Real Malfunction, also known as Malachi. I appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out this video today. Welcome to my channel. It's Breaking Trauma and Healing. Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that is it's learned. This thing is learned, and it can be taught. So what I want to describe today and talk to you guys about today is something that I want to bring to your attention because I recently watched a video, and this video was very heartbreaking. And it was heartbreaking to say the least. Like, man. But long story short, it was a video of a man who was having custody battles over his kids. He has two baby mamas. One baby mama is the first baby mama is he's trying to get his kids back, and then his second baby mama is who he was with currently, and she had a kid on the way. Me listening to this video motivated me to make this video, if that makes sense. Me watching that video motivated me to make this shit right now. And the guy basically just talked about how, long story short, how people genuinely don't have empathy for your life. And what hurts even more is the people that you truly love and you think love you as well. So that's what I want to talk about today. Before we get into the video, go ahead and click that link in the description to learn from my mentors to grow your YouTube channel more effectively. They're really great guys. They're really great guys. I'm sorry, this video is probably going to be very sensitive to some. So just fair warning. But I want to talk to you guys about why having empathy is a secret tool for healing in your life. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard empathy. It's, putting yourself in other people's shoes. That's what empathy is. And there's another one. It's called sympathy. And I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Sympathy to me it's a nicer term of feeling bad for somebody. That's what sympathy means to me, at least. Empathy, on the other hand, is literally it's being inside that person's shoes for a moment, or for a learning experience, whatever it is. And the video that I seen that made me want to do this, that guy was he was hurt. He was down. He was hurt. He was very hurt by the loved ones in his life, and what it transpired next, I wish for nobody. I wish for nobody at all in my life. Not even my worst enemy, man. But what happens next is the man takes both his baby mama's lives. And then he takes his life. And so I want to make this because before he did that, he described to people watching. Basically empathy. And it's empathy, man, because of what the side of his story that I perceived was very heartbreaking, to say the least. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. And it's a secret healing tool because not a lot of people do it. And it's interesting because I've always done it my whole life. And it comes down to basically, I think too fucking much. Let's say that. I think too much, and I'm an empath. So whenever somebody's going through things, I tend to have the feeling like 1,000. The feeling's more powerful than if I'm not going through it. If somebody else is going through something and I can see they're going through something, or I can hear it and they describe it to me, no joke, I could feel it. And I've always been that way. And so empathy's helped me out with controlling my mouth. I'll be honest. When you have empathy, you learn how to control your mouth and your thoughts, and it's like something that's, it's like you get a preview of somebody, you know, like a preview of their life, you know, like what they've been through, their attitude. And empathy to me is understanding somebody else's feelings, but it's deeper than that. It's how you can relate to a specific situation with those feelings. So example, best friend was bullied in high school, and this is a negative example, but nobody had empathy for him. Because I remember it was the second day of my senior year, and I'm walking in the hallways with him, and it's crazy. Like, this one kid walks right by him and shoulder checks him, and I mean just like boom, shoulder checks my homie, my best friend, and I'm right next to him. And it's just me, my best friend, and this guy that just shoulder checked my homie in the hallways. And it's crazy, like out of nowhere, it looked like they were about to fight. I pushed dude that shoulder checked him. I was like, man, back the fuck up. It's 2 days in our senior year. I was like, y'all ain't gonna get suspended over this shit in 2 days. Like, if y'all wanna fight after school. So that way you guys can still go to school the next day. Or they're like, all right, bet, meet me at this park after school. So they go to the park, after school comes, and I go home to change, and I go straight to the park with my basketball. He goes home. Next thing I know, I see a lot of cars that went to our high school going to his neighborhood. Not really thinking much of it. They were basically, he was home alone. They go to his house. It's like 30 or 40 people deep that went to our school. And they're all outside telling him to come outside to fight this one kid. They're throwing rocks at the window, trying to get inside the door and shit. It was fucking crazy. And maybe like 10 minutes later, I see all these cars leave. And maybe like 5 minutes after that, I see my homie Devin walking with one of my homies, Darian, to the park. And I'm shooting hoops. And I look over, I'm like, yo, what the fuck's up? Like, are they coming? Is the fight about to happen? He was like, no, bro, they just came to my house. I'll say this, those kids that went to his house did not have empathy for what was about to transpire at all. Because for one, those kids just wanted to see a fight. Kids just want to be entertained. So, and it's crazy because the decision making, your frontal lobe, your frontal cortex isn't developed when you're like, it's developing. It's not all the way developed when you're a kid. So, and that's your decision making right here. And so those kids didn't have empathy because the next day, everybody's bullying him, everybody's picking on him, and on like Facebook and all kinds of shit. And I remember getting a ride home after school, and I can just feel it, like something was off. And yeah, I remember my homie Devin didn't take me all the way home. He made me walk like the last 5 minutes of the drive. And I was so mad, I almost didn't shake him up. Like I almost didn't dap him up. And in that moment right there is deep, because I'm glad I did dap him up, but I didn't want to because I was mad that he didn't want to take me home, which is petty as fuck. But that was the last time I ever seen Devin, ever in my life, because I went to work that day, and that young man took his life. So, but that's empathy, man. And it's situations like that where it's like, I wish nobody had to go through that, you know. And that's just one situation, but I mean, like, I'm a sensitive person, I'm not gonna lie. And my sensitivity has gotten me to the place where I am today, but it's also made me understand other people's feelings in a way where I know most people won't understand. And I think that's what makes me a lot, like, really relatable. Yeah. But everyone has a journey. And on this healing journey, everybody has shit to deal with, and just shit and baggage. And empathy helps you relate to others in a way where you normally wouldn't relate to others. I'll give you another example. What normally happens when you start talking about your problems, like with your friends, or if it's not like a counselor, what normally happens? I will tell you what normally happens. You say something like, oh, I have this issue, da 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 da. 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna be like, oh, well, I have this happen to me, da 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 da. And then you guys are just gonna be judging and comparing who has the most shit, like who has the most baggage. That's what normally happens when you try to talk to somebody about shit. Or they just be like, oh man, okay. And like, people really don't care, and that's okay. They don't have to care. Like, at the end of the day, it's they're their own person. They don't have to give a fuck. And I mean, that's okay. But 9 times out of 10, if you're trying to open up to somebody, most of the time, once you say something to them, they try to top your bad shit. That's what it is. Normally they don't tell you something inspirational, or like, hey, keep your head, man. Like, hey, I know you're going through shit. Like it's all right. Like, if you need me, call me. Some people do. And there's those people that do, you gotta keep them in your life, for real, because especially if they're genuine. But those people that normally just, they don't say anything inspirational, but instead they tell you like what's going on in their life, and then they just try to up your shit. That's not empathy, right? Empathy is the complete opposite. It's sitting there and listening to somebody else, and then putting yourself in their shoes, like, damn, what the fuck would I do in that situation? Or how would I handle that? Or, geez, man, I'm like, everybody prejudges. Having empathy eliminates your prejudgment. That's how I feel. When you first meet somebody and you are off first impressions, you're judging people. But if you can implant in your head, like, yo, this person's been through some more shit. Like some shit, like just like me. They're no different than me. You know? And I'm gonna treat them accordingly. I'm gonna treat them the way that I would want to be treated. Then you start having growth. You start having growth and healing, because you're no longer looking at this person and being like, ew, what are they doing around me? Or like, ew, why is he looking like that? Or ew, why is he dressed like that? Or whatever people judge onto other people. But instead you look at it like damn, that person's had to fight a lot in their life. Like, it's somewhat like an experience. Empathy is. And it takes practice. And sometimes I feel like those people that do have empathy are the people you really got to look out for. It's one thing for somebody to not really give a fuck about their emotions or somebody else's emotions. Like, okay, no worries. It's not your responsibility. It's not your problem. But it's one thing to see somebody else naturally just be like, oh shit, like that person's hurting. I want to help. I think that's what empathy is. That's what an empath is. But I also feel like empathy is like, you know, it's placing yourself in their shoes. It's trying to understand their paradigm. It's trying to understand their feelings and their thoughts. And I feel like once you're able to do that with one person, you can do that with anybody. And when you do it with anybody, you no longer are judging them. In turn, you're no longer judging yourself. And you're really using love. Empathy is love. That's what I feel. Empathy is love. And that video that I seen, you know, about that gentleman, I just don't think my guy was getting the love he needed and deserved. And that's why I like making these videos, because I get to give some love to people that I know deserve it, you know? That's what breaking trauma and healing is all about. It's about learning how to love yourself and others again. It's about trusting yourself. It's about letting go of your baggage. It's about keeping your head up. It's about helping others keep their heads up. It's about growth and love, period. And I just want you guys to know, like, everybody has shit. Some are better at hiding it than others. But I'm just here to expose my shit and let you know, like, I'm human, just like you, and whatever you're going through, you can make it through. Promise. I promise. No matter how bad it seems, no matter how much you want to give up, if you don't give up, I promise you'll make it through. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for listening to my rants. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you guys. And just keep your head up. We are warriors. We're strong. We fight. All right? We don't worry. All right? Anyways, tell somebody that you love them. Life's too short. And look in the mirror today and tell yourself that you love yourself. It's your boy Real Malfunction, aka Malachi, with Breaking Trauma and Healing. And you guys got this. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Peace.